And welcome to the Sesquicentennial Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko.
My weekend was Loko, Holmes.
Yeah? You did some crazy stuff this weekend?
I'm not really familiar with that bitch-ass Susan in accounting.
She's the one that tripped and fell down the steps. That was masterful stuff.
Where we will determine once and for all who the best small talker is in the entire Barstool office. I am joined by my co-host, Large. Now, Large, break it down for the uninitiated. What makes good small talk?
I think what we're gonna have to pay attention to here is that it's a conversation and not a competition. Whenever you get into a competitive nature during small talk, it turns into large talk, and nobody wants that.
We have 3 judges, and we also have a Four Loko wheel over there. And before these competitors come up, one of them will spin the wheel, and they will be determined what the subject of their small talk exactly is. Our first competition is water cooler talk, and the 2 of them will be selecting from a wheel of 6 different topics. It could start from the game last night, something as simple as the weather, a loco topic of their choosing, something about this weekend, the boss, or that bitch-ass Susan in accounting. If they've determined who can spin that wheel, you can go ahead and find out who your first topic is.
All right, let's do it.
Ooh, it looks like they'll be talking about that bitch-ass Susan in accounting. If we have 30 seconds on the clock, small talk.
Okay. So, I'm not really familiar with that bitch-ass Susan in accounting. Could you explain a little bit about who she is?
Susan upstairs?
Yeah, I don't know.
You've seen her.
I don't really know anyone.
She's the one that tripped and fell down the steps.
Pardon me?
Yeah, Nate's fucking her.
Is he?
Yeah, he's really
Do
giving
you know,
it to her
I actually
pussy.
fell down the steps one day. It was quite embarrassing. I was walking, holding my laptop. You know they say don't text and walk, and then...
Who says that?
Boom, down the steps.
Who says don't text and walk?
You know, they. I don't know who they is.
I always hear
but
about they.
I can't...
Do you hear what else they said?
What?
Apple a day.
And that's time. Wow, unbelievable back and forth. We're gonna get over to the judges. We'll be judging on 3 criterion. So as the judges go, they can say their scores for each one of the criterion. We can start over at Mr. Smoke.
Yeah, to me, good small talk's like good sex. It's symbiotic. They have to work together. So the whole time I was imagining these 2 having sex, and to me it didn't work. I specifically didn't like when Publicity talked about when she fell down the stairs. To me, good small talk, it's not, don't make it about yourself, relate to the topic. I think it was a daring attempt. It was difficult by Nick to bring up the topic of sex, which is sometimes taboo, the way he brought it up with Nate. So I like what he did there. I don't think either aced it, but I think Nick did just a little bit better. So for Nick, I gave him an 8.7 in difficulty for that sex topic, a 7.2 in execution, meh, and a flat 5 in artistry. I sensed no artistry. For Publicity, a 6.8 in difficulty. I thought she played it safe. 6.2 in execution. They were close in execution, and also a flat 5 for artistry. I sensed neither artistry from either of these competitors.
And did you total up those scores, Tommy, or do you
Yeah,
not know
so
how
that's
to
a
do math?
20.9 for Nick, and that is a 13. That is an 18 for Publicity.
Kelly?
I was asleep a little bit, if I'm being honest with the both of them. I was asleep. For Alyssa, I gave her a 5.9 for difficulty. Like I said, she felt comfortable, but the conversation was a little flat. Nick, I gave a 7.1. It was fine. Execution, 7.3 for Alyssa. I did appreciate that. 7.9 for Nick. Artistry, 6.9 for Alyssa. 8 flat for Nick, because I do appreciate the involvement of sex in any way possible.
Of course.
Totaling, of course, Alyssa 20.1, Nick with 23.
Nate?
I was not blown away by either of their small talks. I do appreciate and respect that Nick was willing to blow up my relationship with Susan. I do agree that Alyssa could have taken that and run with it in a small talking manner. But overall, not the best effort from either of them. My scores kind of echo theirs. For difficulty, I gave T with P a 5.8 and Nick a 7.1. For execution, I didn't think either of them executed that well. I gave T a 6.2 and Nick a 7.5. And artistry, as Mr. Smoke says, not much there. I gave them both 6.0 flats. That would add up. T with P has an 18 total, and Nick has a 20.6.
20.6.
Oh, man.
All right.
It's a bloodbath.
The best thing about these competitions is there are a bunch more, and these competitors will have their chance to really prove their mettle on the medal stand if they can get so far in the Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko. Our next two competitors, Jeff Vibert and Rudy the Rude Boy Junda. Now, gentlemen, do you know who will be spinning the wheel?
I believe Vibs would be best at spinning.
When you're ready, Vibs, go ahead and spin that wheel, and we will find out who can small talk better.
Come on, weekend!
Oh, looks like this one's going to get a little crazy. Or should I say, Loco? If we have 30 seconds on the clock, gentlemen, small talk.
Vibs.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, my weekend was Loko, Holmes.
Yeah? You did some crazy stuff this weekend? You go skiing?
I went skiing, yeah, I hit the slopes. And honestly, it was a little bit cold, and I had to rent skis. And honestly, they didn't fit my feet very well. You ever had that happen to you?
I don't even care about the fitting of the skis. You doing black diamonds? That's crazy.
No, I'm a terrain park guy. I'm hitting rails, hitting jumps.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that, the slalom? Where people go down that big ramp and go off?
I believe that's the
And it's
long
time!
jump.
Wow. Unbelievable, Large. Interesting strategy in kind of a curveball of a topic right there. Where do you go when everything's loco in this world?
You know what? They had the opportunity to go anywhere, and they went to a place where I'd never want to go skiing after listening to that.
I'd love to know what the judges thought, and maybe this time we'll start with Tommy.
Yeah, so couple things right off the bat. Kelly and Vibs are having sex. I just want everyone to know that if it impacts the judges' scoring at all. Rudy, a little cultural appropriation in the beginning with the Holmes reference. That I will give him points for artistry because it's bold, but I think that you can maybe off-put some people there by being a little bit racist.
I like that.
To me, decent efforts by both. But I do think they chose sort of a basic topic. They could be loco here, and they said, you know, well, what do we do this weekend? I wanted something a little crazier, a little zestier. So difficulties, I originally had them at both flat fives. Again, boring topic. I bumped Rudy to a 5.2 because he did try the accent. Execution, 6.6 on Rudy, 8.9 on Vibs. When he threw out that slalom, it was just something to behold. And artistry, 8.1 for Rudy because he did try the accent. That's bold. I like that impression. Not that it was an impression. Anyway, Vibs 7.0, so total 19.9 for Rudy, 20.9 for Vibs, so close one.
Kelly?
Again, I'm not so moved by this. So far, none of the small talk has moved me in any way. As far as difficulty goes, I gave them both a 5.9. I think that this entire situation should have been easier than it was, and neither of them really rose to the occasion. I would say for execution, I give Rudy a 6.5. Again, he wanted to let us know about the weekend, but I wasn't really excited about it, besides the fact that he was excited about it, so, you know, whatever. I gave Vibs the 7.1 strictly because of the use of vocabulary, the what is it, slocum?
Slalom.
Slalom.
No slope.
Slalom, whatever the hell. I appreciated that. And as well for artistry, Rudy a 7.1, Vibs a 7.9. I think I gave Vibs a couple of extra points because he looks really cute today.
Yeah, if
Bias.
we want to address any of the allegations, Ms. Keegs, is there any truth to any of that?
It's actually nobody's business, but he does look cute, so.
I am adding a point for Rudy because I think he looks cute today. So they are now tied at 20.9.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're handing out points for cuteness.
My
like our
totals.
necklaces.
My total's 19.5 for Rudy, 20.9 for Vibs.
Eric?
Disappointing, Ron. The category was loco, and I was asleep by the 12th second of it. I didn't think there was much pageantry. I didn't think the small talk really vibed with the conversation that they should have been having. Difficulty, I gave both of them a 5.1. There was nothing difficult about that whatsoever. Execution, I gave Rudolph a 6.1 and Jeff Vibert a 6.7. And artistry, I actually deducted points from Rudy because he's racist and gave him a 5.4. And Vibs, I deducted points because you weren't racist, but you still executed slightly better with a 6.2. That adds up to a 16.6 for Rudy and a 18 flat for Jeff.
Wow. Interesting stuff from our two competitors right there. Did you agree with their scoring, Large?
I am simpatico with three people that I'm normally not simpatico with. I think the judges are doing a fantastic job, and they're seeing everything that we're seeing.
Two strong competitors, but we'll see how they do coming out of not only this topic, but the rest of everything we have coming for you from the Small Talk Olympics, presented by Four Loko. Our next two competitors, absolute heavy hitters in the small talk game. Before the competition itself, Eddie was over here chopping it up with you, and you could just see the man at work as he was small talking. Doug's, on the other hand, has a series where he goes desk to desk and small talks with his coworkers. Both these guys know what they're doing, Large.
These are my guys. These are my guys. I have to be honest with you. Seeing a skinny guy like Nick up there, Vibs is too small for me to date. I see Eddie come in. I see Doug's come in. I'm like, I feel comfortable already. So I'm expecting a lot from these two gentlemen, and I hope they can feel the pressure from me because they're representing all guys of size.
These guys know how to talk, they know how to relate to one another, and they know their way around a water cooler. They're about to spin the wheel. Have you guys determined who's going to spin the wheel?
Eddie, you get closer, right? Yeah. All right.
Differential. Soft spin from Eddie. Looks like he'll be talking about the balls. Well, that's something he certainly knows how to talk about, Large.
I believe that's called apropos.
Very apropos indeed. If we have 30 seconds on the clock, please, small talk.
Right, so the boss, a good guy, he let me stay at his place this past weekend.
Oh, that's nice. How was it?
It was good. The only issue is he doesn't like the house that much because he says it doesn't get enough sun.
Really? Did he know that when he bought it?
No, well, he's renting right now. He's waiting for it to be bought. So, while he's waiting, he only has like a corner and he's got like a nice lounge chair, and that's the only spot he can get sun, so.
A lounge chair is not a bad place to get sun.
No, it's not. It's about when you have to position the lounge chair in the same spot, that probably gets a little annoying.
Yeah, he's renting. Where's he moving to?
Same city, but there's some work being done, some construction.
And that's time. Unbelievable. I feel like I just watched two absolute masters at work. The way they wax poetic, soothing.
There's a difference between boring and soothing. And these guys are on one side of the spectrum.
I'd love to hear what our judges think. Let's start over with Eric.
Thank you, Adam. For difficulty, I gave them both a 7.1. Execution, though, Doug's asked primarily questions while Eddie handled the talking itself. So I gave Eddie an 8.1. I thought he was fairly good, and I gave Doug's a 6.8. And then in artistry, Doug's kind of bored me to death, and Eddie kind of, it might be his accent that kind of like elevates his small talk to the next level. I didn't think he was quite as artistic as he should have been. I gave him a 7.3.
Wow, a 7.3. Miss Keys.
First of all, this was definitely the best one we've seen so far. It was extremely smooth. I gave Eddie a 7.4 for difficulty because he has to uphold this standard of knowing the boss. I gave Doug's a 7.1 because he asked excellent questions. I will say that. Wonderful questions, much better than I thought he was going to. For execution, I gave Eddie an 8.4. Again, flawless, knew so many details, especially about the lounge chairs and such. Wonderful. Doug, 7.1 for keeping up. Artistry, Eddie gets an 8.1. Doug's gets a 6.8. Overall, I think they both did fantastic.
Tommy, what'd you see out there?
That was masterful stuff, gentlemen. We've watched a bunch of stiffs come in here today and bore us to death. What you boys just put on is a masterclass in small talk. Difficult topic, for sure, talking about the boss. Eddie, 9.2, Doug's 8.8, execution, both a flat 7.8. It was good, could have used a little more fellatio for the boss man. I thought that maybe, as a Team Portnoy guy, we could have really laid on a little bit thicker. What a great man he is. Artistry, good artistry, I suppose. Eddie with an 8.0, would set Doug's over the top here with an 8.4. He dropped an ah. At one point, he dropped a very well-timed ah. To me, that's artistic. That's beautiful. Tally up those scores. They're both dead even at a 25. And I think that's fitting. It's the highest scores of the day. And I think they were really pretty dead even. Great stuff. I think we'll be seeing you advance far.
Two unbelievable talkers. The judges couldn't get enough of what they saw. They're just overcome with how much they enjoyed the small talk. Did you like it that much, Large?
I did. I tell you what, I thought that Eddie had the upper hand, right? Because he's closer with the boss than Doug's is. But I really like the way that Doug's held his ground. Very, very impressed with both these gentlemen.
The numbers have been crunched, the math has been done, and the medals are ready to be awarded. Unbelievable competition that we had right there. And in third place from our first match, it's Nick coming in third place with a bronze medal. Beautiful job by Nick.
100%, probably the boldest of the competitors, Nick.
Very
Not
bold.
necessarily the brightest, but certainly the boldest of the competitors so far. A well-deserved bronze.
It takes two to tango in every one of these competitions, and our first two competitors come from this same conversation. So in second place, it'll be our buddy Doug's with a score of 66.3.
And again, I have no problems with that. I think Doug's the toughest part of this competition is getting the medal over that giant mastic-like head, but otherwise a very good effort and well-deserving of a silver.
No surprises here, the gold medal for the water cooler talk portion of the day. The small talk master himself. That's going to Eddie Barstool. And it's just right around his head there. Are we going to see a clean sweep from Eddie today?
Seems like the cards are stacked towards him, especially having the boss as one of the topics. But we'll see how he does in the next round, because that's where it gets tricky.
It's about to get tricky indeed. It is about to get very colloquial. I promise you that. We are only one competition deep so far in the Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko, and there's a lot more chit chat to happen. Stay tuned.